Hello FPL managers and welcome back for another video. Today we discuss the knee-jerk reaction for Game Week 6. Don't forget to leave a like if you enjoyed the video and subscribe as it really helps out the channel. Also look out for some other Game Week 6 content coming your guys' way shortly, and with that being said, let's jump into the video. So today we're going to have a look at the most transferred in and transferred out players so far this game week and give you guys a recommendation as to whether or not you should go with the crowd and bring these players into your teams or release them from your squads. Starting off with the most popular transfers in, beginning with Alexander Mitrovic. Mitrovic got himself another goal in game week 5 as he recorded 9 points at home to Brighton. This does make it 3 goals in his last 3 games and 5 goals on the season for Mitrovic as he's made an immense start to the new year. Consequently, his ownership has risen up to 20.5% as his price is at £6.7 million, and I would expect this number to continue rising as he's been such great touch for Fulham. Looking at his underlying stats, he was fairly impressive as his expected score involvement for this game was sitting around 0.5 as he took 3 shots, 2 of which were on target, and also attempted a game high 2 assists. This stat does rank 3rd amongst all players across the first batch of games this game week, so definitely one to look out for as he's been in such great touch and could prove to be nice value in the forward line. Fulham do have a couple of tricky fixtures though coming up as they've got Tottenham away and Chelsea at home as the next 2 opponents, so maybe based on these next 2 fixtures you could hold off Mitrovic in this time and then bring him in game week 8 when they have an excellent fixture run. Otherwise, if you're keen on him scoring against these opponents and looking for those early price rises with him, he could definitely prove to be a nice forward pick. Looking on to Perisic, he was another very popular transfer in this game week and is yet to play in game week 5 as he's got 0 points. His game week 5 fixture is against West Ham away. I'm not too sure he's going to get starting minutes in this one, but he should be good to go for game week 6, which is his next game against Fulham at home. This is definitely a very tempting fixture as I would fancy Tottenham to get a clean sheet in their game week 6 match, and just since Perisic has got a great balance of attacking potential and clean sheet potential, he could prove to be a nice defender option. His price has climbed up to £5.6 million as his ownership continues to rise, nearly approaching 30%. He's just made 2 starts this season, but in this time he's recorded 2 assists and 2 clean sheets, so definitely a very productive player when he's on the pitch for Tottenham. He's probably not the best long-term asset though, as after Fulham at home in game week 6, Tottenham face Manchester City, Leicester and Arsenal as the next 3, so definitely a good punt for game week 6, but I'm not sure about his prospects after that. Looking at another very popular transfer in, this one is Pascal Gross, as despite blanking in game week 5, he's already seen just under 50,000 managers transfer him into the squads. He did have a very quiet game in game week 5, just taking on the 1 shot which was on target with an XG of 0.07, but he didn't attempt any assists. This game was obviously very uncharacteristic of his performance across the season, as coming into this game week he did have the 3rd highest expected FPL points out of any player. So for me he's still definitely a very good asset to own, considering that his price will be expected to rise very shortly and Brighton still have a good extended run of fixtures for Gross to make a real impact. Brighton faced Leicester at home in game week 6, which is definitely a great fixture from an attacking standpoint, and then after that faced Bournemouth and Crystal Palace. So with this excellent next run of 3 fixtures, Gross is definitely a good player to target. Looking to the most popular transfers out, Reece James is one of the most popular options to depart the squads, as he's already seen over 100,000 managers move him out. This is due to the fact that he didn't travel with that Chelsea squad to Southampton away in game week 5, but due to a couple of sources he should be back and good to go for game week 6. It looked to be just a precautionary measure as to why Reece James didn't go with the team, and his expected return date is the 3rd of September, which sees him face West Ham at home in game week 6. So for me, until you get more news on the extent of how long Reece James will miss, I wouldn't transfer him out of the squads, as I would expect him to be back very soon, and Chelsea's fixtures are great for him to continue his good start to the season. Facing West Ham at home in game week 6 is a very good fixture, as they've just scored the 1 goal this season across their first 4 games, and then they got Fulham away in game week 7, which is a great option as well. Despite facing Liverpool at home in game week 8, the next 4 matches for Chelsea after that also have an FDR rating of 2, so considering their good extended run of fixtures, Reece James for me is a hold option right now. Rodrigo is another player that was a popular transfer out, as he's also seen over 100,000 managers move him on. Rodrigo did play 30 minutes in game week 5 before leaving the pitch with an injury to his shoulder, so we'll have to see whether he's going to return for game week 6. The good news is he was able to pop this shoulder back in as it looked to be dislocated after the game, and he didn't actually have to go to the hospital either, which is good signs. Typically the dislocated shoulders do recover fairly quickly, so he should be back for game week 6. So for me, he's another hold option, as we don't know how long he's going to be out for yet, but I would suspect it to be a fairly short period of time, and considering Leeds' good fixtures, he's one to hold on to. They've got Brentford and Nottingham Forest as the next 2 games, so definitely a good option just to leave in the squads right now before we get more news. Sinchenko is another injured player that's one of the more popular transfers out, as he's looking likely to miss Game Week 5. We'll have to wait and see whether he returns for Game Week 6 though, as he's got Manchester United away. I can definitely see the temptation to move him on though, as his injury could keep him out for the Game Week 5 match, and then Manchester United away is probably not the easiest fixture from a defensive standpoint. So with these most popular transfers in mind, let's take a look at our Game Week 6 transfer watch list. Wilfried Zaha has to feature here after he got himself yet another goal in Game Week 5, getting 7 points at home to Brentford. This does now push Zaha up to the 5th highest scoring midfielder, as in his first 5 games he's got himself 28 points. Considering that he's just started in 4 out of these 5 matches and still recorded 4 goals, he's definitely one to look out for, as he's been very productive when he's on the pitch. Crystal Palace also have some very good fixtures coming up, facing Newcastle, Manchester United and Brighton as the next 3 opponents, so definitely one to look out for with just a 7.8% ownership right now, as he could be a nice differential in the middle of the park. Pascal Gross remains on the watch list, as despite having a quiet Game Week 5 match as we previously discussed, Brighton still have some strong upcoming fixtures, highlighted by Leicester at home in Game Week 6, which is definitely a good option to target. Alexander Mitrovic continues to score goals, as he's made it 5 goals on the season, getting 9 points in Game Week 5, and definitely has to remain here, as he's getting into some great positions for Fulham and putting up good underlying stats. As we've discussed, despite the next 2 fixtures being a bit difficult with Tottenham and Chelsea, you could hop on him now to capitalise on the price changes and hope that he does score a goal in one of these 2 games, or just wait until Game Week 8 before Fulham have that good fixture swing. Anthony Gordon has got himself 2 goals in his last 2 games, and he's emerging as one of the better £5.5 million options right now, as he's putting up very strong underlying numbers for Everton. Gordon does have the 3rd highest attempted assists of any player this game week, and does have the 6th highest expected assist figure of 0.38. Ivan Toney is another player that blanked in Game Week 5 but still remains on the watch list due to his good extended run of fixtures, and is still a very solid underlying numbers despite not returning in Game Week 5. In fact, amongst all players so far this game week, Toney does have the highest expected assist figure of 0.85, as he played in a couple of good balls to his teammates that weren't converted, such as the good chance to Rico Henry at the end of the game. Raheem Sterling's also on the watch list, as he's made it 3 goals in his last 2 games for Chelsea, and as we've discussed with Reece James, Chelsea have such a good extended fixture run that Sterling could prove to be a great differential in the midfield. He's recorded 3 goals and 1 assist this season, and is now the 3rd highest scoring midfielder, so with West Ham, Fulham, Liverpool, Crystal Palace, Wolves, Aston Villa and Brentford from now until Game Week 12, he could prove to be a nice punt. Thanks for watching today's video. If you guys want to become a channel member, then click the join button down below and get featured on the members board at the end of the videos, just like Philip Ash here. Also, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to show support for the channel, and click the notification bell. And with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next one.